family, and welcome back to the Ebony Odyssey. My name is Jermaine Long, and I am a servant of the Most High God. I really appreciate you coming along, and as always, enjoy the journey. Today's topic is growing pains. And I just can't get out of the Proverbs of Solomon. I'm in chapter 10 right now, and it's just a lot of things going on. And reading through this chapter helps me understand and navigate through this life that I deal with daily. So, guys, I'm going to share another verse with you, and it says in chapter 10, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. And I'm going to start this off by saying my boys have just finished school here in Zanzibar. And it was extremely difficult in some areas and very challenging. And, coming all the way over here and having to, learn a new curriculum. They are in the Cambridge course curriculum now, as opposed to the American system of education. And so it requires a lot of structure, and it requires a lot of things that you would do repetitively, kind of like college, because it has to be, a certain grammar structure, a certain thought process. It has to be laid out accordingly. And, it's great for them to kind of get, a wake up call with the education. Because, I had them going to a private school in America, and, I was able to afford it. So, hey, I wanted to try to give my kids the best education possible. And it don't always play out like that, but that's what I was trying to do with my children. And so paying this money for the private school, and I'm bringing them here, and it's pretty much the same price as the private school in America would be. A little bit more, actually, a little bit more. But, this is how we look forward to teaching our kids and growing our kids. And, there's been some definitely discussions that me and my wife had about that. But, I can see it challenged them. Now, since they're out of school now, this has been the first day or the first Monday since they've been out of school. And I've been telling my boys, now I'm the owner of a company. Now I own the brick business, so I can sit and I can watch people, and I can, direct them in what I think they should be doing today. And my kids got a dose of that this morning because, it's hard work. That's not stacking bricks on pallets, lifting bricks, cleaning up, moving sand, moving cement bags, 40-pound cement bags here and there. It's a lot of work. And now I've made it easy. I've bought forklifts. I got dollies. I got a lot of equipment to kind of make the job as easy as possible. But making matafali is not an easy job. And so watching my children today, because I want them to understand how hard it is to do this type of job, what it requires. Because when I was young, I was strong. And I remember, in high school, I was strong. I remember going into the military, I was strong. And I remember getting injured in the military, and I just saw my strength fade. I used to love the activities that would make me tired and sore. I loved football, because, you could exert all of your energy, all of your will upon another person, and then you would get tired, and you would rest, recoup, and then you would go back into training so you could do it all again another day. And so back to this proverb, I'm watching my children, and, it was a order for 400 bricks this morning. And when the guy got there, he said, oh, man, y'all almost got all this. Let me just get 5 instead. And so you could just see the defeat come over my kids because they had did a lot of work this morning and they had stacked a lot of bricks on the pallet, and it was hard. But I could see that defeat come on their face, and I understood what it was, and I was happy. I was happy. And ladies, you may not get this, but for the men who will listen to this message, we understand that defeat means I hate doing this job and I never want to do it again, but I'm going to finish because I'm a man. And for me as a father to see my sons face that defeat and still finish the job, it was great. And so the proverb says, a wise son maketh a glad father. Now, I wasn't as happy with the grades that they got in school this year. So that was my, thing. It's like, hey, guys, if you're not going to get the grades, you're going to be doing a lot of manual labor. And this is manual labor. How could I put these young men of mine in charge of anything if they don't know how to account for things, if they don't know how to manage situations, if they don't have any knowledge or understanding of how things should go? And the thing is, they went out here and they struggled and they made it through and they worked hard and they did what they had to do to get to this to get to this final point. So I'm thankful for my boys to put in all this effort this morning. I'm thankful for them to put all this sweat in. Their hands are sore. One of my oldest son is already sleeping because of this the work this morning. And so all I can say, guys, is that right there maketh a glad father. And I'm glad because I want them to understand how important the education is. And on top of that, the respect for the people who will be working up under them when the day comes. If you have no respect for what people do, you would never understand the sacrifices it takes to get to where you want to go. And so for me, I want to respect everyone. Everything that someone does is important because it's hard to get to that point. And I think that is the caveat into the second part of this verse, which says, but a foolish son is heaviness on his mother. And I'm just going to bring this up because, a lot of young men are raised in single parent households. And I'm a product of a single parent household. But I was loved and nurtured by my grandmother. My father was in the picture. I had uncles, I had cousins, I had a lot of people around me, and they definitely kept me on a straight path. But a foolish son does not know what hard work is. A foolish son thinks that he should be given things easy. A foolish son is not wise with his seed and spreads it carelessly. A foolish son does a lot of things because he does not have a man showing him how hard it is to actually be a man. And this causes heaviness on his mother, because she is always going to be in the position to make excuses for him, to try to compensate for him, to try to do anything she possibly can for him. I know my mother was always trying to do things for me, but I did not need her. And that was, I think, such a comforting feeling for my mother and grandmother, because by the time, cancer took both of them, and by the time it got to them, they saw me as a man. They saw me as a man with a family, taking care of, owning houses, making things go forward. I could only wish that they could see me today here in Africa with a business, building a home, raising my family. They won't get to see these things, physically. But spiritually, I know they knew how I was going to keep moving forward, and nothing was going to stop me. And so that took a lot of weight off of my mother when she was passing, because I told her, hey, don't worry, I got this. Your grandchildren are going to be okay, and I'm going to be okay. So that was a lot of heaviness removed from my mother. And guys, I'm so sorry for taking you so long today, but I just wanted to share with you some of these things that's on my heart while I'm reading these Proverbs, because it is so rich. And I know, this ain't for everybody, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the days that I have here and the things that I get to teach my children. I pray that we all can take that time that we need to pour into our young ones, to pour into our family, and to keep building and making our community stronger. So, again, I appreciate you all for listening. And as always, enjoy the journey.